first, when I started, I didn't like mids. A lot of them are really bulky in the way they don't fit good in my hand. The Zone is a really cool disc because, honestly, it's almost like a hybrid between like a putter and a mid.
Yeah,
it feels like a mid,
and
it kind of flies like a mid. It's like a high-speed putter.
Yeah,
it's a truly like putt and approach.
Yeah,
a lot of discs say putt and approach, but most of them
really
are putting.
is.
That's like a putt and approach disc.
Yeah, I would not putt with this.
Yeah,
no way in heck do I putt with a Zone. It's only approach.
Yeah,
they should take the putt off of there.
Yeah,
that's just me though.
But for people that don't like, who are like me, don't like that feeling, that has a really low rim, so it feels good in the hand.
Yeah.
But as far as mids, and so the way I have my bag set up now, I used to have it color coded because it was just the easiest. But then I had some discs that I couldn't get close enough. I couldn't figure out if it was closer to one color or the other color, and it would make me mad. And it was not really an OCD. It's just I wanted the colors to match. And so I quit doing that because it was just messing with me too much. So now I have it set up by speed. So I have putter, mid, fairway, and drivers.
Oh, that's how I have mine.
Yeah. And it works better. I definitely, it's better because when I had it color coded, there was a couple of times where I'd pick up the wrong disc thinking it was a different one and throw it, and then I'd be like, why did I do that? And it was the wrong disc. So this helps out a little bit. So mids, I have.
You got quite a few mids, don't you?
Yeah, which I didn't have that many before. So I'll go through them first real quick, and then I'll explain them. So I have two Gators. I have one in Star Plastic, and then the other one is a factory second, which is a backup kind of for practice. But this is my tried and true, my Star Gator. And then I have a first run sole, which I just picked up, and I'm trying to figure out. And I grabbed your Zone because I was trying to look at it, but it reminds me a lot of the Zone. It's probably a lot more understable.
Yeah, it's still just a little bit more
speeds,
domey.
Yeah.
A little bit more domey.
Speeds are kind of close. It's definitely more understable, though.
4.5, -3.0, yeah. Yeah,
and
it's pretty similar, just domey. Too domey for me to have that confidence in it.
And then so I have these two, or one, my overstable mids, and then I have two understable mids, and then I have a Mako 3, which is just really neutral. I can crank it and it's going to go right, or I can put it on a hyzer and it's going to go hyzer. This is a really good disc. My wife throws it, and I've been looking for another one. Finally found one. It's a really nice disc. It's kind of the opposite of Stargator, and I could go out with these two mids and be fine.
Yeah,
I have a hyzer and then a neutral disc, and that'd be good. So I have those two, my neutral one, and the sole. I threw this today. I'm trying to figure it out, but it's so
absolutely
understable.
Unloaded with that sole today.
I felt like I threw it flat. I felt like I barely threw it, and it just went to the right. Once it gets on that line, it doesn't stop. It just holds that line and just goes to the right.
Yep.
And the rock is kind of the same. This one's really good because I can throw it in tunnel shots, and it's just going to go straight and kind of fade to the right. Or I can put it on hyzer, and it'll still go to the right, but finish left. This one's got a little bit of beat on it, and the plastic's a little harder, more stiff on this one. I definitely use this one for like tunnel shots. But that's all of my mids. So actually I only have 1, 2, 3, 4 mids.
Yeah.
I don't throw the rock as much.
I didn't see you throw it today.
I've been trying to figure out the sole, but I mostly throw the Gator a bunch.
Yeah.
If I need to go straight or to the right with it, I'll throw on a sidearm, and it just goes straight and then fades a little bit. Or if I throw a backhand, I can throw on a white hyzer, and it's just going to finish left. It's super consistent and reliable, and I throw quite a bit. I definitely recommend if you're looking for a overstable mid that you can throw on sidearm and backhand. This is a great disc.
Yeah.
Mine's got a really cool cigarette butt on it. I threw it, and I think someone dropped a cigarette on the ground, and it landed on top of it, and it was just burning through it.
Wow. You got lucky it didn't go all the way through.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why it flies so good.
Maybe we gotta do that to all of our discs.
Burn.
Yeah, so I guess I'll get into my mids now. I, like you, have mine organized by speed, I guess. So it goes my mids, and then my fairway drivers, and then my drivers. And I try to organize my drivers at least in terms of stability. Or like if I have 2 Zeuses, I'll put them next together. If I have my 3 Hades, I'll put next together as well. That's a little bit of a spoiler alert. But for my mids, I've got 2 Warships. This is the main one that I use, and then I've got another one as well. I really love this disc. This disc I can throw, forehand, I can throw it backhand. It can hyzer flip really, really easy. It's a nice plastic that you can kind of beat in. It looks like it's a Origino plastic. I really like this. It's not super domey. This feels like having a fairway driver in my hands. It doesn't feel like a mid-range, which is so weird, but it doesn't feel like a mid-range in my hand. I can really grip it, and I feel like I can really rip this disc. So this is probably my favorite mid. This is my mid that I trust the most. This is the mid that I can pretty much do any shot with.
Yeah.
If you don't have a Warship, they're literally like $8 at Play It Again. Like, they're not that expensive. Go out, try one. Literally just try it and see how it goes for you. Like I said, I've got 2 of them. The other mid that I have is the Bounty from the 2020 Trilogy Challenge. This is something that it has gone in and out of my bag multiple times. I'm trying to leave it in my bag right now so that I can kind of learn how it flies. I threw it a lot today. I threw it a lot in one of our videos, and I'm getting to the point where it'll kind of go off into the right, and so it's very good for that. I know it's not going to go super fade left if I'm in a situation where I'm off my line a little bit. It literally happened. I threw it a little too far left from what I was hoping, and it just kind of at the end just kept going towards the right, and then eventually stopped and faded a little bit. But it wasn't just kind of try to turn over and then not, and then just super far to the left. So that was really nice. The only other mid that I have in my bag is an Emac Truth. This is, in my opinion, a very, very solid mid. I would recommend any new player as well to at least try it out. I have it in the Lucid plastic. That's my favorite plastic from Dynamic Discs, and it's a speed of 5, glide 5, turn 0, fade 2, so it is a little bit overstable, but it's one of those really solid discs. If you need it to go straight, you can make it go straight. If you need it to go to the right, it can go to the right. It really is one of those discs where you will improve your form because it's not going to bail you out, and I do really like that, and so I've been able to get better with it. But yeah, those are really all I have for my mids. I don't really have a whole lot of mids in my bag. It's something that I've been struggling with, like finding when and why I would want to throw mids, when most of the time I'll either be close enough to throw a zone, and a zone will be more accurate going into the pin. For me, at least, it'll be more accurate going into the pin, more controllable going into the pin. So I'd rather throw zone than a mid-range in those instances. That's about it for my mid-ranges. Let me know down in the comments below. Do you throw mid-ranges often, or would you rather just throw a approach disc, like a zone or a harp maybe, or a tactic or something like that? Definitely let me know. I would like to know if I'm alone in that, or if it's just a me thing. I don't know. So what do you have for your drivers? This is going to be the real big portion of our bag.
Actually, so next I have fairway drivers.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
And so I have, honestly, I only have 2 fairway drivers.
Go straight. If you need it to go to the right, it can go to the right. It really is one of those discs where you will improve your form because it's not going to bail you out, and I do really like that, and so I've been able to get better with it. But yeah, those are really all I have for my mids. I don't really have a whole lot of mids in my bag. It's something that I've been struggling with, like finding when and why I would want to throw mids, when most of the time I'll either be close enough to throw a zone, and a zone will be more accurate going into the pin. For me, at least, it'll be more accurate going into the pin, more controllable going into the pin. So I'd rather throw zone than a mid-range in those instances. That's about it for my mid-ranges. Let me know down in the comments below. Do you throw mid-ranges often, or would you rather just throw a approach disc, like a zone or a harp maybe, or a tactic or something like that? Definitely let me know. I would like to know if I'm alone in that, or if it's just a me thing. I don't know. So what do you have for your drivers? This is going to be the real big portion of our bag.
Actually, so next I have fairway drivers.
Okay, yeah, let's do that.
And so I have, honestly, I only have 2 fairway drivers. So I have 5 in the bag, but they're different molds. So here, I'll start off with these. I have Raptors. I have one in a Z line, one in titanium, and one in the ESP. The ESP, I would say probably the titanium's the most overstable for me, and then the ESP, and then the first run, Z-line. But these are just really overstable fairway drivers, and I like fairway drivers because they're consistent, especially at the range that I throw. So personally for me, the farthest I have thrown, like on a long throw, was about 402, 405 feet.
Same.
And that was with a tailwind, with a distance driver that I'll get into, and that's the farthest I've ever thrown. But consistently, I can throw 350 to 370 consistently. And so for me, fairway drivers, if I put them at full power, I know exactly how much they're going to fade and how much they're going to turn. And overstable, I don't really have any understable, just because if I have something where I need to go right, I'll just throw a distance driver and kind of crank it down some, or crank it up if it's understable. I know it's going to go to the right.
Mm-hmm.
So I have those three. The Raptors, I love them. For sidearms, if I need to go to the right, I know that I can flick them. And these consistently, I can throw 250 on the sidearm, and that's just for when I need to go to the right. So I guess that's kind of why I don't really have any understable fairway drivers, because if I need to go to the right, I'll just throw on a sidearm, and it's going to be really dead on. And then the other one that I have is the FD3s. This one we got at a tournament, and this one was in the mystery box from Discmania, and it's the FD3. This one's really cool. It's my most beat in one. But these, if you follow us on Instagram, you've seen me throw that shot over the pond.
Mm-hmm.
And this is pretty much the disc that I throw over the pond. It's about 250 at the short pin and 260, 270 at the middle pin. And if I'm going to the short pin that's up on the rocks, I'll throw this up high on a huge hyzer, and it'll just fade in onto those rocks. If it's on the middle pin, which is like 5 feet in front of the water, I'll throw on a flex shot and right at the rocks and have it kind of fade out and come right in, and just keep it low, and it works perfect. So I throw these a lot. I had a third one, but some kids picked it up and threw it into the pond, and so I lost that one. So I'll probably get another one. But I like the plastic on these. These are really good. This one, once you get it beat in, it doesn't fade in as much, so it's really nice.
Yeah.
But that's all I have for fairway drivers. I don't know if you have any fairway drivers.
Yeah, I've got actually a pretty good amount of fairway drivers. I think I've got about 5. Wow, I have 6 in my bag right now. So the first one I have, Mystery Print Undertaker. We did a video unboxing this. Go check it out. But yeah, this is really, really nice disc right here. It's got a nice 9.5 -1.2. So it's a pretty. It's stable. That's how I'd like to call it. It's stable. It's a disc that I can throw on that hyzer flip angle, and it's gonna do just that. It's gonna go straight if I need it to go straight. It's genuinely a really solid disc. It's something that I need to continue to use more to build up that trust, because right now, if I need a shot to go, I'm gonna pull out my Stag from Westside Discs. This thing, it's an 8612, so it's very, very similar to that, and I just kind of like the feel of this a little bit more. It fits in my hand better, so I really like it, and it's one of those that I can throw on the sidearm. I can throw it hyzer flip. I can make any shot I want out of this disc, and it's really a utility disc, and it's something that I recommend anyone at least give it a try. It's not going to be too damn expensive, so yeah, I definitely recommend giving it a try. The other ones in my bag, I've got the Underworld by Westside Discs. This was a really good disc for me in practice. I haven't been able to have success with it out on the course, so still waiting for that to happen. It is a disc I can turn into a roller, so I guess you could call it my roller disc. The other one I have is the Getaway. This is one of my 2 overstable fairway drivers, just due to the fact that it is a 3 fade with only a -0.5 on the turn ratio, so I can throw this out to the right and I know it's going to come back left. I can trust it to do so. I can really take those aggressive lines with it. And if I need to hyzer flip it, I can hyzer flip it. And I can make it one of those discs that just is super reliable because you're still going to have pretty good control with it. So I recommend a Getaway, especially to anyone starting out. If you want to get into a little bit faster discs, I recommend going to a Getaway, a Stag, or an Undertaker before you go into distance drivers. Try out something like that before you go to distance drivers, and you're going to be so much better off if you do that. The other two that I have in my bag also came from that video. The Onyx. This is a overstable one, and some people call it a distance driver. I mean, it's a speed 10, but I consider it a fairway driver in my opinion. It flies so much more like a fairway driver for me, so I lump it in that category. It's just a nice overstable fairway driver. If I'm not going to go with the Getaway, I'll go with the Onyx. It does bite a little bit more to the left than the Getaway does, so if I really need to get left or if I really need it to fade a little bit quicker, I'll go Onyx. And then the other one I have is the Avenger SS. This is really my main understable one that I throw. I can just kind of float this thing up and kind of give it a gentle little push, and it'll go very far off to the right. So if I need a shot that's going to go to the right, my elbow kind of hurts or my arm hurts, and I'm not really confident in my forehand, I'll throw the Avenger SS, and it will go to the right 99 out of 100 times. What do you got for your distance drivers?
Distance drivers, all right. And I would say definitely fairway drivers, like you said. That was a game changer for me. A few months in, where I was trying to figure out distance and I couldn't break 250 or so. Distance drivers really didn't do that much for me. And I picked up a fairway driver, and it was a game changer. I could throw super consistent and really far every single time, because that's about where my arm speed was. I couldn't really do that with distance drivers, so I think that's why I throw fairway drivers quite a bit. I have distance drivers, and I'll throw them on really long holes, but I throw fairway drivers a lot. And so distance drivers, and if you haven't noticed, Quentin throws a lot of Trilogy. I've got in my bag pretty much kind of by accident or by, I really like their plastic, but I pretty much throw Discraft and Innova, which Discmania is Innova. They make their discs for them, so pretty much I throw Innova and Discraft.
Discmania makes Innova's discs, or Innova makes Discmania's?
Innova makes Discmania. Like if you look on the back of any of their discs, say on the back. But
wow, it really does.
So
Innova Champion discs.
Yeah.
Wow, that's funny. I didn't know that.
Yeah, and funny. So that's pretty much what's in my bag is Innova and Discraft. I like Star Plastic for Innova, and then ESP for Discraft. I don't know. I feel like Discraft has really cool designs, and their discs are, I don't know.
They're good in your hands.
Yeah. And so we'll start off with my understable discs, and this was probably one of the discs that got me hooked in the game early on.
God, I remember getting that thing down from a tree.
Got me really playing because I could get a lot of distance on it, and it's a really good beginner disc. I would definitely recommend going to get one. But I have two of them. The prototype Paul Macbeth Hades. They are a 12.6 -3.2. They're really understable. This one is really beat in. You can kind of see it's a little bit rough around the edges, but this one's crazy Paul. This one will sometimes just do whatever it wants, but if I have a turnover shot, if I need to go to right, this one's going to hook right really hard or turn into a roller if I put too much on it. And then this one's a little bit less understable, but still. One way I would describe how these fly is kind of like a letter P. So it'll go out, it'll come out to the right, curve around, and then come back. So if you have a shot that's got a tree kind of far to the left, you need to go around, and these are really good because they'll hyzer flip up, go out, but then come back in at the end. So it's like a late fade at the end. But it gets a ton of distance. The time I got 400 feet, 402, was with this one, and I did it a couple of times. I broke 390, and then I got 405. So this is an awesome disc if you want to get more distance. But definitely make sure you have good form down, because if you don't throw it right, it's just going to go wherever.
Yeah, very true.
One that's really similar, and I picked it up by accident, but I love it, is the Thrasher. It flies very similar. So this one's 12.5 -3.2. It's just more understable, but this one's really good for hyzer flips. So if I have a hole that I would throw the Hades on, but it's not as far, I'll throw the Thrasher, because it's going to kind of do the same thing. and I can get it to flip up and it just go really far, but not quite as far.
Mm-hmm.
But this one's also in the ESP plastic. All of my discs for Discraft are ESP, besides my fairway drivers. But I want to pick up another one of these just for practice purposes, but I'm loving this one. And then overstable discs, one that I threw a lot was the Destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
That's a really good disc for me for my power and the distance I can throw. It's just a really good straight disc and then fades to the left. And depending on how much you get it beat in or not, it'll fade less to the left. But one I picked up at the Keeper of the Chains tournament, I lost it. I don't even know where. So I picked up another one. I buy a lot of F2 discs, played against those a bunch, but they're usually like half the price, and they're just as good as any other discs. They just have like little imperfections in them or whatever, and it will cause them X stamp sometimes or F2.
Mm-hmm.
But that way, like
Yeah,
for
I'll say
practice,
right there in the
yeah.
plastic, yeah.
But they're cheaper, and if I lose them or whatever for practice,
No big deal.
it's not that crazy to go get more. I think right now, last time I went, they had like 2 tubs of Destroyers
Yeah.
or whatever. And then since I throw a lot of Discraft, I wanted something that was similar and felt the same to the Destroyer. I don't like getting super religiously hooked on one disc. That way, if I lose it or whatever reason, I have another one that I know I can throw, and my game doesn't depend on that one disc. So I picked up a Discraft ESP plastic, a Nuke, which the numbers are pretty much identical. I don't have the numbers on this one, but they're like nearly identical. But it's just a really overstable disc. This one's the 5x Page Pierce. It's a really nice like red metal stamp, but it's just really overstable, big dome on it. So if you have a headwind, this is a great disc. But I'm trying to figure out this one for flex shots to get. I think I can get 400 with this one also on a flex shot. That way it gives that extra glide. So I want to pick up another one of these also, just so I can have 2 in the bags. That way they get beat in differently.
Yeah, that's true. Do you like the dome on your discs?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them can't really help it. Like your overstable ones are typically going to have a dome. Like the Hades doesn't have much of a dome, but because it's understable. But so the more overstable I think, it's the more dome.
Yeah.
That's kind of what helps them. But
yeah,
that's it. That's everything in my bag. Sometimes I'll have a disc here and there that'll kind of swap out, but generally, this is kind of what I've played with for the last 3-4 months. I'll pick up a different mold or a different kind of plastic, or if I lose one, I'll go and get another one in a different color, different weight, maybe mess around with that. But typically, I have it pretty dialed in, and that way, for me, there's less thinking. If I go play at a course, if I see a hole, I know what I can throw, what I can't throw, and it's less trying to figure out what disc to throw and more of how to throw it. And so I just less options. That's just how I am in general life. You go look at my closet at home. I have like 6 black t-shirts and like 3 or 4 blue jeans and like a couple pairs of shoes. Like I'm very minimalist in that sense. And in my game, I'm the same way. It's just I can focus on my game as opposed to that. But
yeah, I think that's a very good way of putting it. I think there are quite a few people who as well play the game like that. When you look into my bag and you look into those distance drivers, I've kind of sort of gotten a little bit the same with you, or having a couple of different molds for some discs. Now, currently in my bag, I'll start, I guess, here with my Hades. I as well carry 3 Hades. I think you only carry 2. So this is kind of my least beat-in one. This one will go the most to the left, my misprint one. This one will go the most to the right. This is, for whatever reason, I just absolutely unload on this Hades to the right. I think it's just because it's my lightest weight one. This is only like a 160 to 163, where my others are in the 170, so I just kind of overturn it a little bit. But I really do like it, and something I do like to throw. And then the one that I hit 400 with is my prototype with Mr. Paul here, 170 to 172.
It's a good disc.
It's a great disc. I recommend if you're going to go to a full speed driver, I recommend this for newer players just because it is a little bit understable, so you'll have a little more success with the understable high speed discs than you will with the overstable high speed discs. Like if you've ever had the problem where you throw it and it goes a little bit and then just absolutely meat hooks to the left, then try a little bit more understable discs and just kind of work out through the kinks. But I really love the Hades. There's a reason why I have so many in my bag. It's a tried and true disc for me, and it really does work out. The other discs that I have in there, I've got, let's see here, I think I put them, nope, okay, we're good. I got 2 Zeuses after that. This is my 2 very comfortable overstable discs that I have here. I really like both of these for a multitude of reasons. I can throw it on that forehand line and I know it's going to go to the right. I can throw it on a hyzer and I know this is a disc that I can just absolutely trust, and I can throw out there and I can throw it a little further to the right when I'm doing a backhand, and I know it's going to finish left every single time. Very rarely will I have a Zeus actually finish right, really only if I don't give it enough air under it will it do that. But I really like both of these. They're really solid. Love having them in my bag. Something that I need to put a little bit more work in with is the Discmania Enigma. This is a pretty neutral distance driver, 12 speed, 5, -1, 2. So it's kind of similar to my fairway drivers, only more speed on it. So I need to learn to throw this disc more. This is a disc in my bag that I need to learn to throw more, and I think it's going to be a really solid disc once I can do that. And it's going to be nice for tunnel shots. It's going to be nice for really straight shots that have to go a long way. So this is something that I'm definitely still kind of learning how to throw. The other drivers in my bag are all kind of similar. I've got 4 left. So the Raider, this is kind of my go-to overstable-ish kind of disc. This is kind of my go-to one. I just really like this plastic. This fusion plastic feels good in my hand. Something that is kind of annoying that Discraft does is they'll kind of write in what disc it is in Discraft and stuff, and I don't really like that. I don't like holding on to that. I feel like I can't get a clean release. So I do like the Raider. I really like this plastic. Throw it up to the right, watch it come back to the left. I can hyzer flip it a little bit, so I really like that. It's a really, really solid disc. Another disc that I highly recommend if you're getting into distance drivers to go check it out if you're looking for something overstable. The other one that I just absolutely adore, and I think by far this is the disc you should, if you're gonna go to a distance driver, this is the first one that you should get in the overstable category. It's the Pro Wraith. This is the only Innova disc in my bag.
Really?
Only Innova disc in my bag. I used to have a ton of Innova. Now this is literally the only one in there because this disc, it's a 511 -1 3, so it's a little bit overstable, but I can get this thing. If I can throw this thing on a hyzer flip because it's an 11 speed and make it just go absolutely dead straight, a little bit to the right, and then it's going to come back left. It's one of those where hyzer flipping, I know it's not just going to leave me and go to the right. It is going to come back to the left. If I'm having a bad round, this is the disc I'm going to pull out to turn things around. And then I also have the Nuke. Something I need to continue to work with. I got to throw it more in order to figure out it's a solid disc. It's in the Z-line plastic. I wish it was an ESP plastic, but something I got to continue to work with. I think I'm going to try to make this my main forehand disc because it does always finish to the right when you're throwing it on a forehand. So yeah, that's kind of my plan for this. I don't really throw this a whole lot, TBH. And I've got one last disc in here. I didn't know that yours was a fairway driver. I got the PDX, so I got a power driver here from that tournament, and I really do like it. This is the #1 disc where it's like, hey, look, it's windy, or it's one of those situations where I absolutely need to throw a overstable disc. I don't want any understability coming into factor at all. I'll throw this one, launch it out up and to the right, and it'll just come back. Literally in a video we filmed, I probably threw it 150, 200 feet to the right in a headwind because I knew it was going to finish back left, and it damn near covered the whole distance and almost went out of bounds how far it went. But it was really good. I really do like this disc. I can trust this disc when I throw this, and that's kind of the thing the common theme in my bag is finding discs that I can trust and I know what they're going to do. But in order to do that, I have to learn what I'm throwing. But that's pretty much all I have for my bag right now. Again, we're still new to the game. Haven't even really been in it for a full year yet, so I'm interested to see how our bags are going to differ next year.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll have different bags. Maybe we'll have the same bags. Maybe we'll literally be throwing the exact same stuff. Who knows? But we really want to see what's in your bag. Comment down below if you haven't already. What do you throw? What do you throw? Any of the same things that we throw? What's your main putter that you like to putt with? What bag do you have? We'd love to hear all of that information. Comment down below. If you haven't already, thumb this video up. We love seeing those likes because it tells us you want to see more content, and we want to bring you guys more content as long as you guys want to see more content. Hit the subscribe button if you haven't already. That's pretty much all I got. You got anything else?
Nope, that's it. Just if you guys have any questions on our disc, considering picking up any of them, like if you've been thinking about picking up a Raptor, picking up Hades or something, but you're not sure on it, ask us. Give us
comment down
know.
below. Ask us a question. Yeah. We'll be more than happy to answer. More than happy.
I will say all of my discs, other than like the Destroyer, they're all max weight. Just for disclaimer, that way you guys don't go and pick up something and it doesn't fly the way we said it would or whatever. Which you're gonna throw different than we throw, and then the weights will affect it somewhat, but. Yeah, let us know if you have any questions about our disc or anything, or discs that you think we should have in our bags. That you throw all the time, and you're like, wow, you're messing up because you don't have that. If there's something in Discraft that I'm missing somewhere in there, that there's a ton of Discraft for as much.
You need a zone.
I know. I thought about it. I thought about it. That's what you need. I picked up the Mako and then the Soul, but for now we're good, but we'll see. There's a lot of cool stuff coming out. I know we both picked up a Cloudbreaker. I got a Night Strike 3, and what was the other one that we picked up? But those we don't throw. They were just really so hard to get, and we were lucky enough to get some that we kind of just put them in our collection.
Yeah, my first run Hades, they're just collection discs.
But that's it. That's all I got. Cool. Till next time.
Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Like I said, hit that thumbs button. Leave a comment down below what we're missing in our bag. And don't forget to subscribe. We'll see you guys next time.